right, so going right into the draft screen. We do have Think Twice and Team Frost. Think Twice with the first ban of the game. It's going to be Howitzer this time. Interesting enough.
Yeah, I mean, they must respect that the Mammoth's on the howitzer. I mean, that's why they targeted him so hard, because they know he could do some serious damage, especially in tandem with that Decker
Like,
cage.
there's targeting someone and there's like being a schoolyard bully. It was more the second one. For Team Frost, their ban is going to be Bellica.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much you watch of Shinx, but he's a very good Bellica player. I mean, he's a very good mid player in general, but his Bellica, I think, is I think that's his go-to hero. Loves to play on it. I mean, she's just good at everything. She's just a good damage dealer. She's got CC. She's got sort of a really good group team fighting mechanic with the drone coming out as well. She's just
What is
not to love about
huge
Bellica?
buff now that it goes by actual health and not pips.
It's kind of a buff slash nerf, because if it's a support trying to poke away at it, she's going to be there for a while. But 2 Revenant shots, or maybe 1 Revenant shot, and
no,
it's
but
gone.
you can't even use abilities on it anymore because it takes reduced
I mean,
damage. It's
yeah, but reduced damage from ridiculous amounts from the Revenant is still quite ridiculous.
I guess someone needs to prioritize. I guess the ADCs need to prioritize that drone a little more now. First pick of the game is going to be the Revenant for Think Twice.
Speak of the devil.
Frost taking the Decker and the Grux.
Oh, I bet Flop is going to be so much happier on this Grux than he was in the Chimera.
For sure.
Just such a top tier pick at the minute. Just probably, well, the number 1 jungle in the game, I'd say right now. Just brilliant for bursting down those objectives, and just an all round good kit.
Think Twice picking up Narbash and Feng Mao once again. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Cosby on Feng Mao. He used to be one of the few Feng Mao mains who was able to do a lot of work on Feng Mao, even when he was in not that great of a state. So now with the buff.
Well, since Cloud's disappeared, yeah, more than likely to be, yeah.
All right. Frost is going to be picking up Kwang once again for Array, and this time they're taking Gadget instead of Howitzer, because Howitzer was banned out. And Think Twice, Sevarog, and a Morigesh.
Interesting.
Last pick of the draft will be Twin Blast. So, team hasn't changed too much for Team Frost.
No, I mean, they've got I suppose Howitzer can be equatable to the Gadget. The ults are similar, sort of that AoE big effect. Not as good for peel or setting up those ganks, because obviously the Howie mine's so good for those sort of situations. The Grux is obviously a definite upgrade to a Chimera in my eyes, at least. Just so much more, orientation on the team fight. It's just better to get picks with. Just he can get out as well as get in as well, which is good. I think they've done better on this draft.
Well, because
it looks like
they have, like, the Grux alone is a huge improvement, right? Because Grux can operate very similar to Chimera, but can also offer a little more CC and more engagement and more team fight potential than a Chimera can. And they took Gadget because Howitzer was banned out. So their team actually both team compositions have not really changed. They're opting for the exact same thing.
It looks like, again, the Team Frost are looking for sort of that wombo with the Kwang, the Gadget, the Grux, the Decker, sort of all trying to get in on that. And it looks like, again, Think Twice are going for that pick potential. With Narbash, Feng Mao, it all looks together. And even more so now with the Morigesh, because she's, you've got 2 sort of auto lock heroes that just deal out ridiculous amounts of damage. So if that stun, that root, that slow, any of it comes off, the damage is definitely going to follow up.
All right.
So, definitely looking at that pick potential again.
Let's get into game.
Let's do this.
So it's Team Frost bringing in to... I don't even know what's going on, but I have my stuff backwards constantly on my draft. Give me a quick second. We'll get into game, and I'll fix that while we're doing that. But I'm ready when you are. 3, 2, 1... and go. Game is underway. We do have Team Frost versus Think Twice once again. And as I quickly switch these back around in OBS, because Paragon likes to mess with the way. There's never the same blue or orange team. It's always different every time, and it's a little frustrating for overlays. Teams right now are beginning to rotate over to the side, and they are just Mexican standoff. Look at them, 3v3.
They're just chilling, out. Just sort of waving at each other.
I want to see Array bust out the swordsman style. Just kind of taunt someone a little bit.
And just notice, before anybody picks it up in the chat and says that, you know, you got this wrong, yes, we are aware that the draft sheet said that Cosby and Clearcast will be playing, but we've actually got Cloud and Frog Summer still, so don't need to worry about that.
Basement stream, guys.
Blame Narendra this time.
This time it's Narendra's fault.
It's always his fault.
So we have on the teams of Team Frost, Klinghoffer on Twin Blast once again. Sergeant Floppy bringing out his Grux, the nice and pink Grux. It's Array back on Kwong, and he is kind of dancing around with Frog Sama at this time. Mock Asagula back on the Decker in the left lane as Klinghoffer and Mock Asagula are trying to get the engagement off. Mock is going to miss the stasis bomb on what could have been a very good poke for the duo lane of Team Frost. And the very last, but not least, is the Master Gadget on the Max 49.
Yeah, I'm think twice. We've got Wii who did so much work on that Sevarog. He was just bossing it around. And the good sign of a good Sevarog, getting in, getting those ganks, securing those kills, being a nuisance around the map, and you still see these massive shoulder pads, which knows he's been on top of his farm as well. That's what I love to see out of Sevarog players. We're going to see Frog Sama on the Narbash, just his partner in crime, just drive-bying anyone who gets caught in the crosshairs. We're going to see Shinx, who picked up a pentakill last game with the Fae. This time, it's going to be rocking out on the Maragesh. Cloud is going to be doing work on this Feng Mao again. I mean, we didn't really sort of highlight him, but his play was super solid last game. He did what he needed to do. It was nothing really all that flashy, but he just did what he needed to do for the team at every point during the game. So I'm looking to see more of the same out of him. And Cameron, you know, the guy that needs no explanation.
He's back on the level.
He's just one of the best ADCs in the game, and he's on one of the most, not broken, but nigh on broken heroes in the game, so you know he's always going to do work.
I mean, yeah, if you get that snowballing off with the ultimate on Revenant, you're going to have a really good time, because every kill is basically like 2 at that point. Max and Sergeant Floppy are nearby. We do have Wii U rotating right now. There's Sergeant Floppy missing the smashing grab. And there is a great stasis bomb going on. Sergeant Floppy now showing Wii U what is what as he's back in the game, getting the first kill and first blood. Shinx getting hit by the sticky bomb from the gadget. And there is Sergeant Floppy's banner just waving around saying, "How's it going?"
Yeah, I mean, very good, very promising now from Team Frost. You know, they've probably felt that they underperformed the last game. They've set the stall out very early this game. You know, we are not going to be bullied into another submission this game.
If you saw how they set that up, they had both Mock and Sergeant Floppy hiding in the corner, waiting for Ryu to make the play that they felt that he was going to make, and he did. And as soon as he dashed in there, they just instantly reacted and jumped right back on them, getting a great double stasis bomb out from Mock, and then following up with the rest of the things that they needed to help secure the first blood of the game.
And then maybe that just puts a little bit of doubt into Shinx's mind, because he had sort of run of the roost on the mid lane last game, so had it so easy because his jungler and his support being so efficient in those ganks. But now, you know, just put a little bit of doubt into his mind that maybe this mid lane is not as safe as it was last game.
We might have a Ray in a bit of trouble. He gets hit by the Obliterate. All they need is 2 more autos to get the job done. 1 Frog Sama at next to no health. It's a Ray running in circles. Sergeant Floppy now diving in and chasing down Frog Sam and I Cameron, but it looks like the healing from the Narbash is going to prevent anything from happening. Wii U rotating over there as well, as Sergeant Floppy could be in a bit of trouble if he does not realize the Sevarog is nearby. And Sevarog is going to back away, go to the jungle, and get the second rotation of River Boss. And that is going to be a black buff for the Sevarog. Very good news for Wii U. The Max trying to go over to the blue buff, and if he does secure it, he will be able to walk away from...
See ya!
I ain't dealing with this later.
I don't want none of that.
All right.
Yeah, it's... both teams are still being a little bit more cautious this game now.
And I think Cloud was the one to secure that gold buff right there. I like the changes to gold
He
buff
was.
because it could actually be like counter engaged on by the offlaner now.
Yeah.
And people.
I mean, it's no Raptors. It's not like it's going to deal mad amounts of damage and you can sort of recollapse onto it. But it still sort of puts them in a position where they haven't got the best vision in the world. They haven't got a lot of wards
Speaking of
down
positioning, Cloud's in a bit of trouble. He needs to use that Reaping Dash to try and get out. I think it's down. Oh, there it is. Stasis Bomb going to go. Sergeant Floppy dashes right after him. Sarge, the smash and grab might land if Sergeant Floppy runs in the correct pattern. Stasis Bomb goes out. There's the double pain, and that will be it. Unfortunate.
I was just about to say, Cloud is so elusive when you're trying to pin him down on pretty much any hero I've seen him play on. Unfortunately, he gets taken down there. Just, you know, he thought he was out with the Reaping Dash, but the Stasis Bomb decided otherwise.
All right. In the mid lane now, Shinx and Max are having a much quieter lane than they did last game. It's now 6:30. They're both hitting level 5. We see Max just taunting Shinx with that gadget emo, and now he's going to react. There's a Sticky Bomb and the Seek and Destroy. Tesla Dome going down as well. But Max should be able to win this fight, as Shinx is in a lot of trouble. Sticky Bomb goes out. Max needs to clear the distance. The ult goes out, but before the dagger can land, the bomb explodes. Timer goes out. Sorry.
Yeah. I think my Max was a little, not tilted, but a little bit of vengeance from the last game. Like, right. Yeah, this is my line as well.
And yeah, the BM emote to start the fight off too. Just, I think that baited Shinx just a little bit, if you ask me.
And so far, it looks like Team Frost are winning pretty much all the lanes. Maybe a Ray's struggling a little bit, but he seems to be doing all right. He managed to get out of that what looked like to be a certain death, but that little peekaboo around the tower. Oh, Floppy has to be careful here.
Sergeant Floppy is going to dodge the thunk with the dash.
Oh, but he's so happy to have that dash and not just an auto-lock ability where he has to go in on the hero.
It's like, if I want to dodge something, I need to jump on them. And there is Cameron throwing out the Obliterate once again. Sergeant Floppy is nearby as they go to engage. He dashes once again. Smash and grab will miss onto Frog Sama.
Maybe he wanted to just kill the minions. Oh,
in mid.
my Max being in a bit of trouble here.
Being chased down right now. 8 minutes. We do have the Amberlink being drained. With I think the amount of team fighting and aggression that goes on in the game, the Amberlink's taking a bit of a back seat to just the rest of the game right now. So you're not seeing a lot of Amberlink.
I don't think you have the time to get in on an enemy Amberlink. If you happen to be in the area, great, fine. You know, get a few hits on it, but there's not that time to rotate and invade in there, and plus it's so deep in there that you just risk getting caught out.
There's so much else to do.
Yeah.
That's really all there is like, because you got like every minute you're getting another minion on each camp, and on top of that, every 2 minutes is the river buffs, and on top of that, every 4 minutes is the raptor. Plus, you need to be rotating for ganks. So
yeah.
As a jungler, you just have too much to do. And
well, so when it's a little quiet, I'm just want to have a look. Mamex actually picked up this Imperium Mask, which had a slight buff, but I mean, it used to give 3 power points on a rotation, armor, ability, or damage, and mana regen. Oh,
Mad Max doing a great job using the speed gate to dodge the subjugate.
Yeah, but that used to be sort of mitigated.
Oh my god. Klinghoffer going.
Why are you down? I'm trying to.
Klinghoffer going down to Cloud, but Cloud goes down to the Decker right after that. 1-for-1 trade. I think Cloud overall wins that one, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, if you see when they go onto the ADC, you'd much rather support get the kill than the ADC, basically.
All right, Raptor spawning in 15 seconds. Cameron grabbing that gold buff. He's going to back and get ready for the Raptor push. Frog Sam is still level 3 in the mid lane. Maka Sagula right there nearby, but it is warded, so they do know he's around. They're waiting for that Decker cage to go out. Probably won't be able to get it. I think this is one of the downsides to roaming as the support, is you don't get the experience. Because Mock's been standing beside his ADC for quite some time. He's level 5. Frog Sam only level 3.
Yeah, if I'm talking to a few players that play that support main, you know, there's 2 points you want to really hit before you hit those raptors. You want to get your level 5, so obviously you've got your ultimate. You want to hit level 10 usually, so you can have a ward and you can have your quenching scales up and running. But this is what happens when you are roaming. You are being useful, and yeah, you might be able to get those couple of assists, but you are missing out a lot on the XP and the CXP, and you won't hit those levels or those card points you need for that level 5.
Klinghoffer jumping onto Cloud for half a second, taking out about a quarter of his health. Raptors are spawned now as Klinghoffer is trying to poke out Cloud and get the Fengmao off the map. Mach is rotating over as well as he starts to clear out the ward. In the river, we do have a fight over the purple buff, and the Colossal Blow will be used from Wii as he knocks away Sergeant Floppy, then jumps onto a Max. Max dropping the Tesla Dome and the abilities, and it will be Max maybe getting away. Subjugate's the only thing left to stop him. Stasis Bomb goes out, but it doesn't burn as Sergeant Floppy jumps onto Wii U with the smash and grab. There's the clap from the Warlord's challenge, and now he's stuck inside the Decker cage as well. Bunch of skills does go out for one of the teams as the Hive lands on 3 people. It's Klinghoffer picking up a kill onto Frog Sama. 3-man smash and grab from Floppy, peeling for the enemy team. He will go down to Cameron. 2-for-1 trade in favor of Team Frost. However, I believe that does give Think Twice the chance to do Raptors if they so chose. My map is bugged. I can't see what's going on.
I think it's the Revenant ult that's causing. Every time it does that, it knocks him off the map and then takes the map with it as well. So,
Epic, please.
Yeah,
we're not asking for much. Just a little bit of something, you know. All right, you want to try and go back 10 seconds and see if that'll help?
Yeah, I've just done it.
All right, give me a sec. I need to pull up the spoiler shield, the fancy spoiler shield. All right, and we are going back and forward. 28 seconds, 29, 30 is where I am. And that helped. In the mid lane, we have yet another engagement. Subjugate will go down and miss. Shinx is jumping on top of a Max using the Swarm. And there's the ultimate, not doing enough damage. Max has to walk away as Wii U gets blown up. Trying to secure the kill. He's going to go down. 13 minutes. Raptors still not even tried to be engaged on yet, surprisingly.
I think it's difficult because just the time before that, Wii U and Froxam went down, so they didn't really have anyone to sort of take the shots. Obviously, they had the Fengmao up on Cloud, who could probably tank it for a while. But you know, they're going to go into a 4v3 engagement, and then now again Wii U's down, so it's difficult to go in there without your jungler, especially someone like Zevrog who just offers so much CC and frontline.
Warlord's challenge going out does land on the Cloud. Smash and grab will miss as he's reaping dashes away. And that is going to be Frog Sama doing a good job for peeling. It's going to be a team. Sergeant Floppy now changing his focus once again onto Shinx, but Max is there to help out. Smash and grab will land this time. So will the Sticky Bomb and the Tesla Dome. Frog Sama in a lot of trouble. It's when Max will be picking up the kill with the Tesla Dome, completely burning out the health bar of that Narbash. And now they have advantage. Quenching skills going out. I think they're upset with last game.
It was just funny to see Klinghoffer running away, saw that his team were coming, and just instantly turned around, and the chasee become the chaser.
And they do get all 3 Raptors, clear out a ward and back. This time it's Team Frost with the advantage. 9-2. This is the exact same game as we saw last game, but flipped around.
Yeah, Team Frost, I think someone's definitely had a talk to him, you know, give him a Red Bull, give him a little bit of a pep talk, and they just come out swinging. Floppy on 4-1 and 3, and Fred Grux is not. I mean, it's good to see if he's on your side. If he's coming at you, that's not a pleasant thing to see.
It's, you know what it is? I think Michael Jordan gave Team Frost a bit of the secret stuff.
The secret stuff.
Secret stuff. You know, it makes you real buff. All right. Space Jam references, guys.
So I'm just thinking about all the viewers who probably don't get that reference.
We're old. Let's enjoy this. Max clearing out the ward right now as the river buffs are spawning at the 15-minute mark. We do have a red buff. Frog Sama looking to take it. Just getting it off the map away from the gadget. Black buff is on the other side, and we do see Sergeant Floppy walking over to it. I'm pretty sure he'd be very happy to secure it once he gets over there, and he does. I think he's looking for blood. I would be. I have a green. If I had a green buff and a black buff on Grux, I would tower dive with that.
While that was going on, we've seen Cloud just managed to take that gold buff away from Klinghoffer. Klinghoffer knocked him down to about half health, but Cloud's pretty. I think he's pretty happy with that exchange. I take your gold buff. I just dash back into lane and go and clear some of these offside jungle camps.
All right, Shinx was able to engage on in the mid lane, but used the swarm to get that speed boost to walk away. Max and Mach are starting to rotate over to the right lane right now. Instead, they see the ward, realize they have vision on them, and they're just going to clear that out and back up once again. Sergeant Floppy not able to utilize the black buff, I believe, the way he would want to.
I mean, as long as you use it like, to do something, I mean, if he's going to use it to clear jungle camps that bit faster and just get even further out ahead, it's still used to some sort of.
I mean, yeah, like you can use it to farm for sure. Like I'll gladly take a black buff to farm. I gotta clear my entire camp in like half the time than I normally would. It's just with the green buff and the black buff, you could do a lot of work in a team fight.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially on the bleed coming out of the Grux.
I mean, with the buff to the green buff inadvertently, because it now shields you from mitigated damage as well. It means the green buff. If you're just rocking a full tempered plate, the thing just lasts forever. And obviously, every time you get hit, they are taking the reflected damage as well. So it actually increases its damage output as well. So if you can keep that on your tank, it's.
Oh wait, so does the damage output get increased because of the new mitigations?
Well, they get more ticks, so obviously they can take the green buff expires from damage slower because you can take more damage essentially. So that means you can get more procs off on that reflect damage.
There is Wii once again caught out by Sergeant Floppy inside of the Tesla Dome. Subject goes out. It's going to be Max picking up the kill. Shinx in trouble as well, unable to get the ultimate out from the Mortgage. Crash bang boom coming out of Frog Sama as he's now being chased 1v3. He managed to just march away at the last second from the smash and grab and does get out. Overall, that's still a 2-for-0 trade in favor of Team Frost. Is now dashing to the buff on the Riverside in the left. I want to see a Prime. Come on, guys. Very quiet game.
Again, I think they're going to do what Think Twice did. They've got this advantage, you know. They're 2 down, but they're only down for 10 seconds. They can rotate quite quickly. They haven't really got the lanes set in their favor as of yet, so Prime Call this early can be dangerous.
It could be. If you manage to get a good team fight off, which they've had a couple, they could have easily rotate over and secure it. Max doesn't have Tesla Stone right now. I should be down for a few more seconds.
Yeah, that's another big thing, obviously, with the Deca Cage. Is it Deca Cage used there? But I mean, the Tesla Dome is such an important tool for either securing the OP or just zoning out so you can secure it in other means. I think going in without that up is that you're taking a big tool out of your arsenal there.
And we are seeing Cloud Think Twice push down the tier 1 tower on the left lane. The only tower they have secured right now is the right lane from iCameron and Frog Sama. No rotations over or swaps to get themselves closer to the Raptor side of the map. In the mid lane, we do have a bit of an engagement as it's going to be Shinx jumps on once again on Morgesh, gets blown up by the sticky bomb. Timer does run out. And now Max, unstoppable, 3-0-5.
Yeah, so the shoe's definitely on the middle for this game with Max having the rub of the green, as it were, and just picking up those kills. And I think he's happier this game than he was last game, definitely.
I mean, now he gets to pick on the other team. Morgesh not working out for Shinx the way I thought he wanted it to. Every time the curse from Morgesh has come out, the ultimate, it's been just barely about to hit, and then it gets completely knocked away from him dying or whatever. Engagement going on by the river buff. They were trying to clear out the Raptors. Team rotated over. Sergeant Floppy tried to engage on, but Klinghoffer decided to walk away as the rest of Think Twice did rotate to help out the Sevarog. And it's Floppy. He's going to go down as he gets smothered 3v1. And now Cameron's going to pick up the last 2 Raptors. We do have a Max, Mach, and Klinghoffer rotating in as well. Seek and Destroy will slow down, separating their team. Mach gets a double stun, and there is the combo we were looking for as Frog Salmon gets blown up. Mach dropping the Stasis Bomb, or Stasis Gem, Grenades being flown out by Klinghoffer before he goes down. He gets hit by the Obliterate, and he goes down as well. Cloud chasing down Max, doing what he can, but I think he put himself in a bad position as the Coin Scale heals the team. He Reaping dashes out. The tether going out from Array. He uses the ultimate. The Judgment of the Heavens to try and clear the distance and close the gap. Won't be enough. Overall, a very good engagement coming out of both teams there. Ultimately, Think Twice once again losing the trade. They have 2 people going down, while it's Klinghoffer only is the 1. Raptors were taken by Think Twice, and we do have River respawning in 10 seconds once again. Now that we're at the nearing the 21-minute mark. Sergeant Floppy rotating over there as well. He does see the ward as he drops it down, and he's going to clear it. Blue buff is spawned for both sides of the map. Hi Cameron going to ward up or prime just to make sure nothing sneaky is going to happen. Array knows what's going on as he gets engaged on by Frog Sam, and he is jumping on top of him as Hi Cameron's going to clear out the gold buff instead of helping the team out. He does land the Scar, and the Obliterate will be mitigated by the minions in the lane. Cloud on the left side of the map right now is just going to be continuing to farm, and I think the teams are looking for... I feel like we're going to see a fight and then a prime coming from Frost.
It's usually the done situation here. Try and get a pick on 1 or 2 sort of key personnel, as it were, like a mid lane or anyone, you know.
Or a Moragesh?
Yeah, Moragesh is a good person. I mean, at the minute, they probably want the Cameron.
And Moragesh getting engaged on by the Decker coming out of the side lane. Max instantly jumping on top of that one. We are seeing the synergy coming out of Team Frost now, doing a great job. Max just getting the revenge on the enemy team for completely abusing him last game.
It's weird because he's got a hero with even less escape than he did last game, but has managed to get away from every sort of situation he's needed to.
There's a global ultimate on the Moragesh with her curse, and she's still not able to secure the kills. Just barely missing every time. Cameron trying to throw an Obliterate, but will not be in proper range for it to actually hit anyone. So it's just going to use a little bit of mana and waste that one off. Put it on.
I'm surprised about that because the range on that thing is obscene.
It's long, but it's not as like crazy as people think. When you cast it, they have to be in range for it to hit. Once you've casted it, then it'll auto lock them no matter how far they go, pretty much. After that, but like you know, you can get around it.
That initial.
And there's the Obliterate, as we just said, utilizing the range of the lock. Kwang doing a great job from Array, using the Judgment of the Heavens to teleport back to his lane, completely juking out Think Twice. Mid lane right now, we do see Shinx and Sergeant Floppy rotating over to the right lane. Klinghoffer jumping on top of Cloud, looking for the fight. He managed to jump away with the rocket dash, Reaping dash from Cloud, because he knows the jungler is there to protect the carry. He has nowhere safe to go right now aside from fighting Klinghoffer, who's just poking him down, missing the autos. There's that hamstring. One more auto, and it's Klinghoffer putting the gun in the mouth of the Feng Mao and pulling the trigger before that nice polearm can actually, you know, cut down the Twin Blast. Mock doing a great job of stasising the Cameron, or the Revenant's Obliterate, as we do have the Decker Cage going down. Sergeant Floppy chasing down Frog Sama is trying to get the subjugate, not the subjugate, the smash and grab down. Will not be able to, as the distance will be covered. Big team fight in the mid lane happening after Cloud gets picked off. Tier 1 looking to go down. It does. That's going to be Team Frost picking up the mid lane, adding that, opening up the map for them, allowing them to move around, have some more map pressure. Whew.
Yeah, in the middle of that, it was a very nice stasis gem there by Mark, but unfortunately, just the Sevrak had too much HP, so he could dive into the tower, and Mark just couldn't avoid that, unfortunately.
It's really hard to keep a track of where Revenant goes right now with the current replay bug.
Yeah, it's definitely fun.
Where he's just like, oh, he ults. Okay.
So he suddenly disappears from the map disappears from the face of the planet. Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on, but someone's dying anyways.
So yeah, let's pick up these Raptors now. Pretty much uncontested as well.
Alright, right, Cameron is going to pick up these Raptors. Yeah, as we said, uncontested. Cloud gets the black buff, and he's going to ward out. Klinghoffer's right there, and Sergeant Floppy's nearby. I think he's hunting, but now he does see the Grux very close, and he's going to get him back out of the jungle. In the mid lane right now, a bit of an engagement going on as people are starting to rotate over for Array once again. He could be in trouble. He does pop the Quenching Scales, and then he drops down the Gift of the Heavens to add a little bit of armor as he starts to try and duel Shinx, who I believe has the advantage on here. There's the Swarm as Shinx trying to get a little bit of distance, but Sergeant Floppy is going to be the one killing Frog Sama. As we now have Cameron caught out between the enemy team. Klinghoffer jumps on top of him. He does ult, and it's going to go right on top of Klinghoffer. He's in a bit of trouble. The Quenching Scale comes out for Klinghoffer once again. Now it's Cameron who needs to get the distance. He's going to blink shot away, but the Ventilate has that extra range that Klinghoffer needs. And he's going to Swiss cheese the Revenant.
I love it when the Twin Blast winds up to use the ventilator. You hear this?
Or when the voice line comes in, one of the voice lines for the ultimate is there's a bug on your shoulder. Just ventilate. And that's going to be prime secured for Team Frost. Ryu is nearby to try and help out, but won't really be able to do anything. He's just going to back off right away. And hopefully they'll be able to stop the push onto the tier 2 towers. Today my mouth does not want to work. The tier 2 towers.
It's working quite fine, don't worry. It's still got that volume going, don't worry about it.
I mean, volume, yeah, that's one thing, I guess. By the way, guys, just in a general statement, I'm going to be buying a compressor and limiter soon, so you don't have to worry about hearing damage anytime. Like, within the next PCL, hearing damage will be at a minimum. It'll be there, but not as much. So I'll be able to hooray, money. And technology. But yeah, I'm surprised that the tier 2 towers are up for everyone still, considering the state of the game. Like, if we look at the score, 17-5.
Yeah, while Team Frost have had this advantage, they haven't really pressed it. And while I appreciate maybe trying to hold that advantage, you can. I think while the numbers are in your favor, you've really got to do something. So I'd like to see him do something with this prime.
Well, the funny thing is, Klinghoffer and the rest of Team Frost has such an advantage, but look at Cameron's CP. Cameron's actually point for point with Klinghoffer right now.
Yeah, I think he's had 1 or 2 Raptor packs, so that's his only level. And it's been, he's Cameron. You're never going to stop that guy farming as hard as he may try, unless you're going to babysit his lane with 5 people. But probably not the best tactic
going out. There is Sevarog landing a double subjugate. Cloud tries to dive in, but gets focused instantly down as the team is not there to follow up, letting them just completely smother out the Feng Mao. Sergeant Floppy diving in now. There is the cage going down as well as a smashing grab. He tries to ult away, but it won't be enough as he goes down as well. Frog Sama, the last one alive with his buddy Sevarog, and they're going to jump on top of Sevarog trying to peel. It won't be enough. The Max getting yet another kill. And the inhibitor does go down in the right lane, but that will likely be the game. The last one alive is Sevarog. He's going to rotate out, try and do what he can, but it won't be enough. There's a stasis bomb, and everyone's just focusing him. And that is going to be the team wipe and the game. Team Frost showing that they aren't going down without a fight and turning the tables completely on to Think Twice.
Yeah, just completely. That's just a complete switch around from the last game. Yeah, someone definitely gave Team Frost a pep talk.
So Michael Jordan, stop.
But yeah, I mean, it leaves us with a really, really good last game. Think Twice have been known as sort of the, I don't want to say second team of EU. I don't think that's unfair to say because Toronto are so established. They've got the tournament wins behind them. They're a very, very established team. And Think Twice have come up and they've shown that they are definitely a force to be reckoned with. This Team Frost team, they've got good players, and when they're communicating well and the rotations are good, that's what happens.
I think once Think Twice and Frost get a little more time under their belt, they'll be like, because Toronto was truly pretty much the only team able to compete at that level for a long time. But we are seeing both Think Twice and Team Frost capable of having that gameplay, capable of taking control of the games and just running away with them. So if we give them enough time, they'll probably be able to, snatch a couple victories and maybe a few tournaments right away from Toronto. Maybe even in the finals. Would be very interesting to see. But that was game 2, guys. We're going to get game 3 set up very shortly. Quick recap. Game 1, we saw Think Twice completely dominate Team Frost. However, game 2 rotates around and the exact opposite happens with Team Frost making Think Twice.
Yeah, I think
Twice.
I think the draft was so much better for Team Frost in that second game. We're going to see if Think Twice try, and if they win the flip and they're able to get the sort of the first ban, the first pick, and ban out, do what they did last game basically, and leave Floppy on a non-meta jungler, shall we say, or not really in fashion right now. I think that's what they need to do.
All right, so we're gonna get everything set up for you guys. We'll be right back for game 3 of the best of 3. We're in the quarterfinals, right? That's the thing we're doing right now.
Yeah.
Just to recap. All right, guys, be back in just a second.